top story that we are tracking today. Two martyrs, Army's Naib Subedar Paramjeet Singh and BSF's head constable Prem Sagar's bodies were mutilated today by Pakistan's Border Action Team. At 8:30 a.m., 3 patrol parties were going on duty near the line of control. Patrol parties were just 150 to 200 meters from the LOC when Pakistan's BAT team attacked them. Sources suggest Pakistan's BAT operations consisted of Pakistan Special Operation Group SSG, Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists. All right, let's cut across to Shujaul Haq, my colleague, getting us the very latest. Shuja, would you give us the sequence of events and what exactly transpired? There has been a detailed release by the Northern Command. What are you picking up?
Well, that's right. What we've been, informed by the army officially so far is that this, entire thing happened in the early hours of the morning. There were actually 2 attacks. One, of course, the back action team that was taking place, and at the same time there was heavy shelling that was going on from across the line of control. In fact, rocket-propelled grenades were, hurled towards the Indian side. And now, there are people who are experts who are assuming that the firing was taking place to perhaps give cover to the BAT team. Preeti, this is not the first time that such BAT actions have taken place in the valley or the other side of the Pir Panchal on line of control. These things have been happening in past as well. There have been condemnations that have been made, but it does seem that these actions are still, one of the procedures from of the people from across the line of control.
All right, Shuja, stay on with me. Let me quickly get in Kamaljeet Sandhu from the Home Ministry as well as our executive editor Gaurav Sawan joining me in the newsroom. Before we go to them, visuals coming in of the family of Prem Sagar, head constable Prem Sagar, in grief right now. We're going to play those visuals out for our viewers. Let me cut across to Kamaljeet Sandhu, who's of course joining us. Kamal, what are your sources from the Home Ministry telling you? What kind of action is being contemplated?
Well, the response was given immediately, Preeti, but remember, this is a border action team. So yes, when there was local intelligence available with BSF and the army, that perhaps a landmine was laid near LOC, some simple tactics used by either the Mujahideens, the Pakistan army, to actually trap soldiers near the line of control. This has happened at the FDL, which is the forward defense line, and that's where the army troops along with BSF had gone. When they went in and approached the area, that's when they came under attack. First it was firing, and then the border action team crossed over to this side of the LOC and obviously mutilated the bodies. This was followed by intense firing. We spoke to DG BSF and very clearly KK Sharma saying that the army and BSF are working extremely closely, and the retaliation came immediately from the Indian side.
All right, Gaurav, what are your sources telling you? Because right now, one thing has been established, that action where retribution is concerned needs to be taken at the government level and not primarily just the military level.
Preeti, spot on there, because as far as the army is concerned, the post which helped this infiltration on the Pakistani side, our sources are telling us that there was instant and heavy response, and that particular post has been pulverized, is what a source said. There was response from the Indian side, because here the Pakistanis planned this very well. Let's put this in perspective. Yesterday, General Qamar Javed Bajwa, Pakistan Army Chief, visits the Hajipir sector. He interacts with the soldiers and with the Mujahid battalion at the Hajipir Pass, tells them that Kashmir needs to hot up. We see more activity inside the Kashmir Valley in terms of their signal that went out to their terrorists, and also along the LC, we've seen intensified action. Then they laid an ambush. They came 200 meters inside Indian territory, of course, ahead of the AIOS or the anti-infiltration obstacle system. And there they laid an ambush, killing 2 of our personnel and mutilating their bodies. And then they went back. Even as the rest of the patrol was looking for cover to respond. So immediate tactical response to that particular post has happened, but that doesn't account for much. What is government's response going to be? Another surgical strike after 1 month or 20 days, or hotting up the LC in any one particular sector, artillery punishment to Pakistan in any one particular sector? That remains to be seen, but various factors being deliberated in a very important meeting that's currently underway in South Block.
All right, the meeting that is currently underway in South Block. And Kamaljeet Sandhu, can you give us more light on what is being discussed? Is it going to be a strategic hit back where they're going to show restraint, or what are you picking up?
The BSF's operational control actually lies with the army, so tactical support and whatever launch is being given will be decided by the army itself. But remember, even as Gaurav is pointing out, there has to be a strategy which has to be thought out. Remember, we've seen ceasefire violations happening around international border. Will this be limited to be one area? Will this be spread out? That round needs to be seen. But as far as the provocation itself has come, Indian side giving a befitting response. But remember, this is not just it. BAT operations are a part of army strategy. This has been happening from the Pakistan side. But it's the mutilation part. It is very unbecoming for the army of Pakistan to indulge in something like this. And remember, the provocation we've seen a few years ago when Heminder Singh was there. And remember, that's the time when Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister at that point of time, was still a candidate, and he had vowed to take a revenge. So we'll really have to see whether a bitter response will come in from the Indian side, or will this just subside.